What, Ollie? Oh, we're at a different time. It must be, you must speed yours up. Welcome back from lunch. A wonderful lunch for those of you who are here, and I hope those of you who are at home or somewhere else manage to get something to eat. I think you're going to find this next session interesting, informative, and unique. King & Spalding has been a fantastic sponsor of FondsForum and the USA Conference for many years. And Mario Leischner and I talked about what they should do. The last couple of years, we've had legal presentations on structuring real estate investment in the US. And we came up with something a little different, which is basically to ask two of King & Spalding's colleagues in Washington, D.C. to give us a up-to-date message for what's going on in D.C. 5.5 months into the Biden administration, there's been lots and lots and lots of stuff happening. It follows 4 years of a different administration with lots and lots and lots happening. But certainly the last 6 months or so have been extremely eventful. I mean, obviously, the end of the Trump presidency, the Democrats taking control, albeit by a narrow margin in both the House and the Senate. And these changes have resulted in very different policies and certainly very different personalities from the last 4 years. Mario reached out to his Washington colleagues, and I'm pleased to welcome today Senator Dan Coats and Mr. Tom Spulak from King & Spalding's Washington, D.C. office. They're each going to give us a brief presentation, and then there'll be time for questions. I think they're going to ask each other questions. I've got some questions. I really hope you'll ask questions. This is a unique opportunity to hear from people who are living the experience of Washington, D.C. I'm going to vary my approach and give you a slightly more detailed introduction to these two speakers because they warrant it. Senator Coats has had a distinguished career of public service. He served in the House of Representatives and in the Senate from Indiana 2 times. Interestingly enough, he served as U.S. Ambassador to Germany. Most recently, and we joked about this before, he served as the Director of National Intelligence under President Trump. I won't refer to the fact that that seemingly is an oxymoron, but I'm sure he's got interesting stories to tell us, and he currently serves as Senior Policy Advisor at King & Spalding's Government Advocacy and Public Policy Practice Group. In reading his biography, however, I was struck by the fact that we both share one particular passion. We both are diehard fans of the Chicago Cubs baseball team. Senator Coats, perhaps this is a topic we can discuss at another time. Tom Spulak is a partner at King & Spalding and serves as the co-leader of the firm's government advocacy and policy practice. He focuses on the development and execution of legislative and executive branch strategies involving issues critical to domestic and foreign interests. Before joining King & Spalding, Mr. Spulak served as staff director and general counsel of the House Committee on Rules, as well as the general counsel of the House of Representatives. Suffice it to say, he has extensive experience in the legislative process. It should be quite interesting. Gentlemen, welcome to the conference. The floor is yours.
Thanks so much, Brad. And on behalf of King & Spalding, it's a pleasure to be with you all today. I want to thank Mario Leischner for arranging the opportunity, and of course, Brad for being our host and inviting us. Our comments today are timely. President Biden has made the first visit of his presidency to Europe. One of his goals, to show that America has returned to the world stage as a partner and leader, appears to be succeeding. I'm going to use the next few minutes to talk about the American political system as it stands today and some of the major legislative issues that could impact you and your businesses. Again, my partner, former congressman, senator, ambassador to your republic, and the U.S. Director of National Intelligence, Dan Coats, will add his own comments on the legislative front, but also his views on U.S. relations with Germany and the rest of the world. So let's begin this report from America. While it seems much longer to us in Washington, it's only been 6 months since Joe Biden was sworn in as the 46th president of the United States. The 2020 presidential campaign season in the United States was the most acrimonious campaign in recent American history. That is since the last one in 2016. President Biden won with 51% of the vote, a 4.5% margin of victory, because there were several minor candidates on the ballot. And that, in and of itself, is the largest margin of victory for a president in many years. But today, 6 months after the election, a little more than 50% of Americans give Biden a positive rating. That might sound good, but most of that comes from Democrats. As a country with only two political parties, we're almost evenly divided, one half Democrats and one half Republicans. Among the half of America that is Republican, almost all give Biden a negative rating, and 60% of them strongly believe he's doing a bad job after only 6 months. One thing to note about our parties, if all you knew was what you heard on Fox or CNN, you would think that all Democrats were far left and all Republicans were far right.